In the 80s and 90s, fast food chains launched wild promotions that defined childhood. Like McDonald's selling pizza so slow, kids could finish their homework before getting a slice, or $150 million spent hyping a grown-up burger nobody wanted. These weren't just marketing stunts, they were full-blown disasters. But behind the neon colors and toy tie-ins, chaos was brewing. Health department shutdowns, menu items vanishing overnight, even ad campaigns that sparked riots. This is the story of 15 childhood nostalgia fast food promotions that ended in disaster. And trust me, some of these fails are so epic, you'll wonder how anyone at headquarters kept their job. So, what went so horribly wrong? McDonald's spent the late 1980s chasing a new dream: pizza on the drive-thru menu. The McPizza arrived in 1989, promising families a chance to skip Pizza Hut and grab a pie right alongside their Big Macs. It sounded like a slam dunk, until the reality hit. Baking a pizza took 11 minutes, sometimes more. That's about 6 times longer than a regular burger order. On Friday nights, kitchen crews watched the line snake out the door as ovens crawled through each batch. One manager remembered, when the rush hit, you could see the fear in the crew's eyes. To make it work, McDonald's remodeled kitchens across hundreds of locations. Special ovens were installed and drive-through windows were widened just to fit the pizza boxes. Franchisees grumbled about the cost and the chaos. The new pizza ingredients didn't match up with the usual inventory, so toppings spoiled and dough went to waste. Staff had to learn how to toss dough, spread sauce, and handle a whole new set of equipment, all while keeping up with fries and nuggets. Internal memos from the era show worries stacking up. One franchisee wrote, "If we can crack dinner, we can crack Pizza Hut's hold on family traffic." But instead of winning over families, McPizza jammed up the entire system. Some customers waited so long they left before their food was ready. The promise of fast food vanished. Despite millions sunk into kitchen upgrades, the promotion fizzled out by the early 1990s. Only a handful of locations clung to McPizza until 2017, mostly as a nostalgic oddity. For most, the experiment was quietly erased, leaving behind a lesson. You can't out-pizza the Hut if your drive-thru is stuck in first gear. In the 1990s, fast food chains doubled down on premium experiments that were supposed to change the game but instead left kitchens and customers scratching their heads. McDonald's poured over $150 million into the Arch Deluxe, a so-called grown-up burger with fancy buns and a tangy mustard sauce. Marketers thought they would finally unlock the secret to getting adults excited about fast food. Commercials showed sophisticated adults turning up their noses at regular burgers, then biting into the Arch Deluxe like it was fine dining. But the reality at the counter was less glamorous. Kids ignored it, parents shrugged, and franchisees complained about extra prep steps slowing down the line. Despite the massive ad blitz, the Arch Deluxe faded out by 1997, remembered mostly for its price tag and the mountain of unsold buns. Meanwhile, Taco Bell tried to surf the seafood trend with the 1986 seafood salad. This was the era of diet crazes and salad bars, so Taco Bell's marketing team saw an opening. The salad came loaded with shrimp, whitefish, and imitation crab, all tossed in a plastic shell bowl. The pitch, a lighter, fresher option for the health-conscious. But food safety departments soon started getting calls about upset stomachs, and rumors swirled about questionable freshness. Reports of food poisoning made headlines. Franchisees scrambled to handle complaints, and the seafood salad quietly disappeared from menus after just a few months. It became a punchline for food critics and a cautionary tale for anyone thinking of mixing fast food with shellfish. Both the Arch Deluxe and the seafood salad show how ambitious menu stunts often created more problems than profits. Corporate teams banked on bold flavors and big marketing budgets, but the results were kitchen gridlock and unhappy customers. For every new menu idea, there was a crew in the back wondering how they would get through the dinner rush without losing their minds. In 1992, Pepsi set out to change the cola game with something nobody had seen before. Crystal Pepsi, a clear soda that looked like sparkling water but promised all the cola flavor. The commercials ran everywhere, kids skateboarding, rollerblading, and chugging this futuristic drink against a backdrop of synth music and neon lights. The campaign was massive. Pepsi poured tens of millions into ads, hoping clear cola would feel like a revolution. For a few months, it worked. Bottles flew off shelves as everyone wanted to try the see-through soda. But the taste confused people. Some said it was too sweet, others thought it tasted like flat Sprite. Sales dropped fast, and by 1994, Crystal Pepsi was off the market. Pepsi didn't give up on the color gimmick, though. In 2002, they launched Pepsi Blue, a neon blue soda that looked like it belonged in a lava lamp. This time, the ads targeted teens with wild graphics and pop music. Fast food chains like Taco Bell and KFC got in on the act, offering Pepsi Blue as an exclusive drink for a limited time. The launch was backed by a huge ad budget, but again, the hype fizzled out. Customers complained about the artificial berry flavor and the electric blue color, staining their tongues. By 2004, Pepsi Blue had vanished, joining Crystal Pepsi in the nostalgia vault. Both drinks show how fast food and soda brands banked on color and novelty to grab attention, betting that a wild look would trump taste. Brand managers and ad agencies chased the next big thing, but sometimes a clear or blue cola just left everyone scratching their heads. Would kids today even care about a soda that looked like windshield wiper fluid? Or would they just post it on TikTok and move on? Sonic's Pickle Juice Slush hit the drive-ins in the summer of 2018, turning heads with a flavor that sounded more like a dare than a refreshment. The bright green slush promised a tangy punch, and for a few weeks, kids lined up to see who could handle it. Social media exploded with taste tests and reaction videos. Some called it weirdly addictive, others made faces after the first sip. Franchise owners reported a wave of curious customers followed by a sudden drop as the novelty wore off. By August, the pickle juice slush was gone, leaving behind a trail of half-finished cups and a reputation as the ultimate try-it-once drink. But Sonic wasn't the first chain to ride the wave of wild beverage experiments. Nearly 3 decades earlier, High C's Ecto Cooler became a playground legend. Released in 1989 as a tie-in with the Ghostbusters cartoon, Ecto Cooler glowed a neon green and tasted like tangerine punch. For a generation of kids, it was more than a drink. It was a badge of fandom. Fast food tie-ins with Burger King and McDonald's made Ecto Cooler a lunchbox staple and a must-have at birthday parties. Parents stocked up by the case, and rumors spread that some stores ran out within hours of new shipments. Ecto Cooler stuck around for years, surviving the end of the Ghostbusters show itself. But by 2001, it quietly vanished from shelves, sparking online petitions and black market eBay auctions for expired juice boxes. Unlike the pickle juice slush, which faded as a punchline, Ecto Cooler became a cult classic. Fans still beg for its return, and every Ghostbusters reboot brings fresh hope. These drinks show how fast food chains gambled on flavor gimmicks to win over kids, sometimes creating lifelong memories, other times just a momentary shock. The era of wild slushes and neon juices was winding down, but the next phase would take the go big or go home approach to a whole new level. In 1993, Pizza Hut took the fast food wars to a new size with the launch of the Bigfoot pizza. The Bigfoot was a massive 2-foot-long rectangle, advertised as enough pizza to feed a whole party and crush the competition. The marketing campaign was everywhere, $50 million spent on commercials, magazine ads, and even tie-ins with school events. Kids begged their parents for a Bigfoot party, and the commercials promised something larger than life. But behind the scenes, the Bigfoot created a monster of a problem for Pizza Hut's kitchens. The custom pans were so big they barely fit in the ovens. Staff had to learn new prep routines, and the gigantic pizza boxes took up half the counter. Delivery drivers struggled to fit more than 2 Bigfoots in their cars, which meant fewer orders per trip and colder pizza on arrival. Product managers scrambled to retrofit stores with new trays and storage racks, hoping to keep up with the hype. But the sheer size of the pizza slowed down every step, from dough stretching to slicing. Customers who ordered Bigfoot for a sleepover sometimes waited twice as long as for a regular pie. Quality suffered too. The larger surface area meant the pizza cooled off fast and sometimes arrived soggy. Sales in the first months didn't meet expectations, and complaints about late, lukewarm deliveries piled up. By 1995, the Bigfoot was pulled from the menu. The campaign faded, but for a generation of kids, Bigfoot pizza became a symbol of how fast food chains sometimes went big. and still missed the mark. Burger King entered the mid-1980s with a campaign that's still studied in marketing classes for all the wrong reasons. The Where's Herb contest launched in 1985 and centered around a fictional character named Herb, supposedly the only person in America who had never tried a Whopper. The catch? Nobody, including Burger King employees, knew what Herb looked like. The ads told customers to spot Herb in restaurants for a cash prize, but the rules were so confusing that even managers struggled to explain them. The campaign ran during the Super Bowl, promising a $5,000 reward to anyone who could find Herb, but the big reveal left viewers scratching their heads. Instead of boosting sales, Burger King's profits dropped by 40% during the campaign. Ad executives behind the project quietly moved on, and Where's Herb became a punchline for failed fast food stunts. Fast forward to 2010, and KFC decided to make headlines with a sandwich that broke every nutrition rule in the book. The Double Down ditched the bun entirely, replacing it with 2 fried chicken fillets, bacon, cheese, and sauce stacked in between. The menu boards boasted 540 calories and 32 grams of fat in a single serving. Health advocates called it a food dare, and news outlets ran segments tallying up the risks. The Double Down became a viral sensation, with customers lining up just to say they'd tried it, but the backlash was swift. Nutritionists warned about sodium and fat, and KFC pulled the sandwich from many locations after the initial hype faded. Unlike the cryptic Herb hunt, the Double Down's disaster was easy to spot, a sandwich so extreme it made headlines for all the wrong reasons. Both promotions show how fast food chains sometimes gamble big on spectacle, only to watch profits and reputations take a hit. In the late 1990s, fast food toys were more than just a side treat. They were the main event. But sometimes, that fun turned dangerous. In 1999, Burger King launched a Pokémon promotion with plastic Pokéball containers. Kids everywhere wanted one, but trouble started when reports surfaced that the balls could trap air if placed over a child's nose and mouth. Within weeks, 2 children died from suffocation, and dozens more incidents were reported. The Consumer Product Safety Commission stepped in, ordering Burger King to recall 25 million Pokéballs. News footage captured parents lining up to return the toys, and Burger King scrambled to add warning labels, but the damage was already done. A few years before that, McDonald's faced chaos of a different kind. In 1984, the Cabbage Patch Kids craze swept the country, and a Happy Meal tie-in sparked near riots. Parents camped out overnight, and police were called to break up fights at dozens of locations. One Minneapolis report counted 16 store disturbances in a single morning, with broken windows and injured customers. Managers tried to keep order, but the demand overwhelmed every plan. Toy safety made headlines again in 1992, when McDonald's and Burger King distributed Disney figurines painted with colors that tested up to 8 times the federal limit for lead. About 9 million toys were recalled after the CPSC confirmed the risk. Investigators traced the problem to overseas factories, and both chains suspended toy imports for review. These disasters forced fast food giants to rethink their giveaway strategies, and safety officials became regular players behind the scenes, checking every toy before it reached another kid's meal. In the late 1990s, McDonald's Monopoly game was the biggest sweepstakes in fast food history. Customers peeled game pieces off fries and sodas, dreaming of million-dollar prizes and new cars. But behind the scenes, the whole contest was being rigged. Jerome Jacobson, head of security for Simon Marketing, secretly stole the rare winning pieces and handed them off to a network of friends, mobsters, and distant relatives. Over 6 years, more than $24 million in prizes vanished into the pockets of insiders. FBI agent Doug Matthews launched a sting called Operation Final Answer, wiring up briefcases and tracking phone calls. In August 2001, news footage showed agents arresting dozens across the country. McDonald's executives were blindsided, and internal emails captured the panic. This will be the end of trust in our games. The Monopoly fraud didn't just cost money, it shattered the idea that anyone could win with a Happy Meal and a little luck. Meanwhile, Taco Bell faced a different kind of backlash. In 1997, the chain unveiled a talking Chihuahua mascot in a series of ads that quickly became a pop culture sensation. Yo Quiero Taco Bell was everywhere on t-shirts, toys, even video games. But advocacy groups raised alarms, calling the campaign a harmful stereotype. Lawsuits followed, and Latino organizations urged a boycott. By 2000, Taco Bell pulled the Chihuahua from all ads. Internal emails from the era show executives scrambling, "Pull the ads before this gets worse." The campaign had boosted sales at first, but the controversy left a lasting dent in Taco Bell's image. Both disasters proved that the wrong promotion can do more than flop. It can bring a brand's reputation crashing down. In the end, McDonald's spent over $150 million promoting the Arch Deluxe, and more than 25 million Burger King Pokéballs were recalled after safety warnings. These numbers aren't just trivia, they're evidence of how far fast food chains went to win over kids and how often those gambles backfired. Archival reports and news clippings confirm that promotions like McPizza, Bigfoot Pizza, and the infamous Monopoly game ended in logistical chaos, wasted millions, and sometimes even criminal investigations. Yet some details remain out of reach. Internal decision memos and full safety reports for certain products are still classified or lost to time. What's clear is that every disaster changed how companies handle promotions today. Mandatory safety testing, stricter regulations, and fewer high-risk stunts. The facts show these weren't just food failures. They were moments that shaped a generation's relationship with fast food, for better or worse.